I started playing Final Fantasy XIV because of a lack of content and a lack of direction in a game I've played for many years, World of Warcraft. But now I'm here, despite the amazing story and the incredible systems in the game. The thing that's captured me most is the incredible sense of community. Every day I chat to someone, every day I seem to meet a new person, and sometimes it's because I stream and make YouTube videos, but there are people I genuinely meet in dungeons or in the city and just chat to and just add them as friends, and every day I seem to go on these new adventures and make new friends and meet new people, and that's what an MMORPG is all about, and I think I lost that along the way. So this is my Final Fantasy XIV journey, and today is part 12. Welcome everyone to part 12. First of all, thank you all so much for still turning up to these. I can't believe we're 12 in already. It's really something. But thank you everyone who still turns up, whether this is your first video or whether you've been here since video 1 or somewhere in between. Thank you so much. This one may be a long video, or it might just be a banger because some interesting stuff has happened. So I've been streaming on Twitch. I streamed 2 days this week, I think, and we've been getting through some stuff. We've been doing some stuff on there. I've been recording the game off stream as well, so that you don't see my stupid face in the corner when I make these videos. But yeah, we've made some progress, so hopefully I can share a lot of that today. And if you ever do want to watch live, I'll link my Twitch stream down below. It is just Medieval Marty on Twitch. So let's get in to part 12. And of course, spoiler warning from here on out. So in the last video, we fought Garuda and got the final crystal, which was incredible. And then the big tank appeared and destroyed the primals. And yeah, it was kind of insane. That it was building up to something, and I was super hyped to keep playing. So I have chunked through a lot of story, and I'll share all that here today. So the first thing that happened was this really cool cutscene where we finally got to have another meeting with the the Crystal Mother, Hydaelyn. So yeah, you hadn't really seen this crystal cutscene properly since the very start of the game. And now to come back after you've done all the crystals and see, you know, a bit more of the story and the whole like bringer of light and warrior of light, that whole situation is just so cool. So this was a really big part. I actually stopped after this and was like, wow, it kind of feels like that's come all the way around now. And I think people are saying like ARR is kind of a weak story, but in my eyes, this was really good. It feels like a proper old RPG where there's like character building at the start and like cookie trail of information, and then it fills out right at the end when you've done everything that you were set to do. I really like this part of the game. I'm really having a good time. And then the next part, obviously, with every peak, there is a slow moment. And the next big slow moment was back in Cortheus. It was looking for the rest of the Scions. Now, I don't know if I'm completely stupid. Like, I know I say things wrong and I don't really get some references, and you all tell me in the comments, but I've overlooked a massive part of this game. I've played the last, 7 Final Fantasy games, and I've finished most of them. And obviously Final Fantasy VII Remake is really recent. So 2 iconic characters in that game are Biggs and Wedge. And I'm going to show them on screen because they're iconic to the franchise, right? And they're in this game, and I did not even realize. And it's because they look nothing like the actual characters. But if these guys have been in the game this whole time, and I've just completely missed that massive reference, please let me know, because I feel so stupid. So yeah, this was Wedge in Final Fantasy VII, this big, charismatic guy. And then this is Wedge in Final Fantasy XIV. Like, what? Maybe I'm a complete idiot, and in that Wedge and Biggs are in every single Final Fantasy game, and they're always looking different, and I've just completely missed that. You'll probably let me know in the comments. And there's Biggs next to Biggs as well. Again, what? So yeah, I feel like a complete dummy for not realizing these 2 characters are in the game. Unless they've just been introduced, but I feel like I've seen them before and never cottoned on to what their names was. So yeah, I just wanted to show that. This definitely wasn't the strongest part of the game. It was very long, but this little cameo was really cool to see. And yeah, it definitely brought back some memories and made me feel super dumb. And then whenever I'm like editing a video or having my dinner or doing something that's not actually active in the game, I just kind of sit in Limsa. And then someone came and sat next to me, and we started chatting for a little while. And they said they'd seen my videos, and they'd seen the reaction to the 1.0 End of an Era trailer, and that they were there at 1.0, and they showed me this cool tattoo. So if you were a part of the 1.0 the Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 and you saw that whole end of the game and the rebuilding into 2.0, you were given a few things, and one of them was this really cool cosmetic tattoo to show that you were there in 1.0. And yeah, I thought this was so interesting, so I wanted to show it on stream because there's probably other people who don't know about this. So yeah, thank you so much for Mariko for coming over and showing this. I think it was a really cool thing to see, and yeah, thanks for taking the time and letting me film this, because I'm still learning about the whole lore of Final Fantasy XIV and its history, so seeing things like this is incredible. Story. Wedge got in the tank. This is so cool. So we stole like a big Empire vehicle, and Wedge got to operate it and run around in it, which was so funny, seeing the little guy riding around in this big massive weapon. This is really cool. And then we got to take it for a little test drive as well. We didn't really get to do much fighting or anything with it, but we got to ride around in it, which was fun in itself. And then it was time to rescue the rest of the Scions. So you go and steal a uniform, like an Empire uniform, and it gives me massive Star Wars vibes. Like, you're the Resistance, and they're like this big opposing force. I really, really like the Empire type situation. Are they called the Empire? I think they're called the Empire. I don't know. Yeah, so you have to go in and stealthily go in, like, in disguise, to learn about where the Scions are being held. And there he is. And as you go in, you get this really, really cool cutscene. The story is just getting so good. So yeah, you find out where the rest of the Scions are being held captive, you break in, and the three of you in your stolen uniforms, you go up to the Imperial Guards, and yeah, this huge fight breaks out. And yeah, I mean, the story fights aren't necessarily difficult. Everything's pretty tame, but the story itself is so fun. So yeah, we rescue the remaining Scions, and that's kind of like, for the last like 10 levels, the Scions haven't really been a thing because they've been captured or taken apart. Ever since they got attacked and a bunch of them got killed, they've kind of all been separated. So it's nice to finally bring them back together. This was a really, really like highlight of the story for me. And then after what feels like 100 hours of playing this game, it's not, but it feels so long, we finally get to see what these people can do. So you've not seen the Scions fight or do anything productive. They're just kind of just characters of the story so far. And there's this one woman, her name has lost me right now, the white-haired woman. And every time it comes to a fight, she pulls out a branch. Like, it's a wand, I think, but it's like a branch, and she does nothing with it. And finally, you get to see what she can do. And yeah, she's got some power. It was so cool to finally see these guys fighting and doing their thing. And you realise, you Shola, there you go. But yeah, it was so cool to finally see these guys fight. The other one's got like I think she's like she's like a monk, or like she's got those cool knuckle dusters. But these guys have not done nothing for so long, and it's so nice to finally see them kicking some ass, and like their characters are growing. And yeah, it's good to see, really good to see. And then you get introduced to La Habrea again, and you still don't know much about this guy, but they call him Ascian. Yeah, and he's some big, they call him like the Crimson something. I really don't know anything about him. La Habrea, that's his name. You don't know anything about him yet, and he just seems like this evil dude who's watching you. One thing, right, he's got white hair, and it seems like everyone with white hair is important to the Scions. So yeah, I'm still not quite sure how this works, but it seems like all of the important Scion characters have got white hair. I don't know if that's a link or I'm just being a bit of a idiot, but he seems like a sick character. And we've got his triad card, which is really cool. And then we went ocean fishing. I cannot tell you, if there was nothing else in this game, if there was no story, I could spend a whole day fishing. I don't know why. I don't know what makes it so good. It's relaxing. It's fun. There's challenges. I could do this all day. I love fishing. And ocean fishing is like fishing at its best. So yeah, we went ocean fishing. Did also manage to finish all the objectives on this one again. I want to try and do more of these. I want to do more ocean fishing because this one was different. So I thought the challenge was the same every time, but on this one you had to catch like sharks and 3-star fish. So yeah, and now I've got a few moves. So like now I can actually target the big fish by using certain combos to like get a high quality fish, put it on my line and cast out for a big fish. Now I can do that. I can target these challenges easier. And yeah, I actually went out and said, I'm going to catch 3 big fish, tick off this challenge, and did it. And it's really cool to do. I really like fishing. Am I alone in this? Let me know in like, if this is Premiere, let me know in the chat. Or if not, let me know in the comments. Like, do you like fishing or am I just a weirdo? And then it was Dragoon time. So we're coming up to level 50. I hadn't done the 45 quest, so I went and did the 45 Dragoon quest. And to do that, you had to go into a trial and you had to go to all these different people and kind of pass this trial, which basically meant you fought bigger and stronger monsters. And they're mostly like drakes and dragons, and you had to fight these bigger and bigger dragons. Because obviously, a part of the Dragoon story is like there's an inner dragon inside you. So you had to overcome these challenges. And every one you did, you got a piece of armor, but you couldn't wear the armor. You were just given it, and it was unlocked as part of the quest. So you'd get like the gauntlets and the helmet. And as you went through, you unlocked these different pieces. And then you meet Hydaelyn, and you learn about this giant worm that's like a fabled legend, this giant monster that's going to come and destroy everyone. And the Dragoon Order has to protect and fight this dragon, this monster to the death. And you learn that you both have the power of the Dragoon, so you should both rise up together and fight as one to take out this giant worm. It begins with an N there. I cannot say it. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, you are both going to fight this giant worm together. But that's for level 50. That's for level 50. And we don't get the armor because we don't have the final piece. And then, of course, took a break because it was time for the Free Company monthly meeting. So I'm in Adonis on Twintania, and a few of you guys have joined up, so it's great to see you there. And yeah, it was just time to have a meeting and get together and just talk about like the plan for the Free Company going forward, what they wanted to achieve. There's a few promotions, things like that. It's really nice being in a Free Company where there's no drama. It just feels like a community to hang out and have fun. Everyone's super chill and we just have a laugh. And outside of like just chatting on the Free Company chat, you don't really see that many people unless you run dungeons with them. So it's nice just to get up, have a chat, see them in person. And then after the meeting, we just kind of chilled out and had some fun. So yeah, this was really, really fun. Also, I love minions in this game. Someone had this little flying cat, and I accidentally clicked on it, and like my character was just watching it fly around. I need this cat. This is so funny. I mean, some people have given me a few minions, and I love the minions. I think they're so funny. But I feel like I'm always finding funnier ones. There's this one, and there's like a big fat cat as well. Man, yeah, I think minions are such a cool little addition to the game. And then I know you don't come to expect it in this series, but we did more stories. So the Empire offered the three leaders the option to surrender and like fall in line, or to go and to war basically against them. And they were about to surrender and about to give up, and they were all about to, you know, just bow down to the Empire because he's got this big, crazy weapon that can defeat primals. And then Q, one of my favorite characters in the entire game, this guy. Alfinord, I love this character. He just rocks in and he's like, "No, you are mistaken. We will not surrender." And then he's like, "The Scions aren't defeated. We're stronger than ever." And he rallies them up and he says, "You know what? Let's take it to them." This was such a good moment. I was so hyped playing this. And then they go over and they all burn the offers they got from the Empire to surrender. I like symbolism in gaming. This is so good. This really was like, I thought this was going to be like the end of an area, but it wasn't even. It was a build up to the next area. And it just delivered so much hype and so much, I don't know, just like, it really got me fired up inside. And I was really just ready to keep playing, which I haven't got since the start of the game. There was a big lull in the middle, but this just kept me going. I just couldn't stop playing it. Absolutely incredible story. And then I was on stream last night at level 49 and said, you know, what's the best way to hit 50? What should we do? Should we do the story? And everyone said, oh, there's this really cool dungeon called Aurum Vale. You should do this. And yeah, what are you lying for, man? This wasn't a fun dungeon. This was rough. We wiped 3 times. And I was with some big boys here. I was with some big, strong characters, and this dungeon was hard. This was a really hard dungeon. I don't know why, but I think it's because of the mechanics. There was like this thing we had to eat fruit to take debuffs off. There was these big AoEs, and yeah, we died a lot in this dungeon. But with all good struggles, you overcome them, and you get success on the other side. And the main reason I wanted to hit 50, the big carrot dangling at the end of the 50 grind, was the 50 Dragoon quest. I wanted that last piece of armor. So off we went back to Cortius with the big, you know, fork weapon back to Hydaelyn. And yeah, it was time for the 50 Dragoon quest. This was amazing. You see this guy at 30 and they seem like an end boss. They seem like a raid character, but yeah, you have to fight this person. It seems like there's this thing with the Dragoons, And the inner dragon is like, it can take over you and corrupt you and make you too powerful. And I'm not still too sure how it works, but I think that's a basic understanding. And she goes against the guy who's been training you and says, if we must fight, we must fight. And you have a big duel. You say, let's find out who the eye is going to work for. There can only be one. And you have this big, epic Lancer v Lancer level 50 duel. And yeah, when you fought the level 30 Lancer v Lancer quest, that was like really, really cool. And then doing it again at 50, like Dragoon v Dragoon, this was so cool because you've got the jumps, you actually feel like a Dragoon, and it was just absolutely insane. And I'm not sure what happens here, but I think she's just got corrupted. So she did this big thing, grant me claws and fangs so I can rend thine enemies. And yeah, I think she's just gone evil, or she's just let the dragon take over her. I really don't know what's going to go from here, but I don't think she's dead. The big thing happens where she gets corrupted, she goes purple, and then she leaves. So I'm really, really intrigued what's going to happen here. Like, does she turn into the worm? Is she going to be like a big villain at the end? But it looks like you kill her, but I don't think that's the case. I think she's going to come back. So yeah, the Dragoon quest is phenomenal. I've tried a few classes now. I've done a few classes to like 20, 30. And the Dragoon is hands down the best story I've seen so far. I absolutely love it. Everyone that was like, oh, stick with the Dragoon, it gets so much better. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with this right through the next expansion as well. I really, really like it. And just making like a quick contrast to like World of Warcraft, I've never felt class fantasy and like class ownership like I have in this game. I feel like a level 50 Dragoon. I feel like I've passed trials and tests and gone on this epic adventure to become the Dragoon I am now. And now I'm fully ready to tank the floor. Is that the meme? Did I do it right? And then because I was streaming, obviously people gave me a little... This made me laugh. Got a little parade to celebrate the 50s Dragoon. And yeah, this is the biggest like achievement, and like this is the greatest I've felt in the game. I felt like I've really taken my character somewhere cool. Absolutely love the class stories. The first thing I did once I got out of here, after taking a G-pose selfie, there it is, went straight to the inn, went straight to the glamour dresser, and put in all of these Dragoon items. So you get the level 50 Dragoon class set. So the first thing I did was put it all on a glamour plate. I'm a huge fan of glamour. I think I'm going to be one of those guys who grinds glamour outfits. I absolutely think it's one of the best systems. I love transmog in World of Warcraft. This is clunkier, but there's so much more you can do. So yeah, I love glamour. So yeah, I set up a glam set for the Dragoon armor, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. I still remember being level 30, looking up at Estinine, thinking that Dragoon looks incredible. Looks like Freya from Final Fantasy IX, but just with more pixels. So yeah, I made this set and I absolutely adored it. And it's the first set I've ever seen with a visor, so you can like flick your visor up and down. So yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this set. I think I'm going to be wearing this a lot. I really, really like it. Maybe without the helmet sometimes, but just this set is just so cool looking. And it just feels like you're wearing an achievement. I mean, that's what the game's about, in my opinion. Like when you hit these big milestones and you achieve these things like mounts, armor, it doesn't have to be about gear score. Like, I don't even know what the stats are on this, but it just looks cool. And I'm not wearing it because it's a really high tier piece of armor. I'm wearing it because it makes me feel like a Dragoon. And I love that about this game. I'm probably going to wrap this video up around here because, yeah, this is kind of everything that we did in the game so far. I know there's not been so much like fun and silly stuff because I really was at like I was nearly at the end of a lot of things. Like I was nearly level 50. I was nearly a 50 Dragoon with the 50 Dragoon armor. So I wanted to get there. And yeah, I just kind of was pushing through the story and pushing through the Dragoon quest just to get to these cool moments. And I'm so glad I did because it just makes me feel so much more invested in the game. I absolutely, I'm just loving the game so far. There's some more, I've got a video that's going to come out soon, which is like Twitch highlights, because a lot of the stuff here that's recorded was actually live on stream, but I just record it as well without all the stream clutter, so you can see the game as it always has been and as it will be going forward. So yeah, I'm going to release that soon. But yeah, next we've got some really cool stuff coming up because there's kind of the end of the first part of ARR, I guess, because there's an 8-man raid to show and there's some other stuff coming up that I don't really know what's going to happen. So yeah, that's all coming. If you want to see it live, it will be on Twitch, Medieval Marty. I'll link that down below. Or just wait an extra day or two and you'll see it in this format. So yeah, thanks everyone so much for sticking with this. Unlucky number 13, part 13 will be coming, who knows, 3 or 4 days, 3 days maybe. But yeah, thank you all so much for sticking with this. I love this game so much. I'm going to wrap it up here. Take care, everyone. Have a good day, and thanks for watching.